What's up, and welcome to week 8, y'all. We had a really good week last week, so we'll talk about it a little bit on the show. Of course, it is week 8 in DFS, and this might be the toughest slate that we've had all year. They've priced up the running backs. We got 3 studs on the slate tonight, so let's get to it.
Going for 2, kickers are extra, I give them the boot. Ooh, going for 2, sit back, relax while I grab me a brew. Ooh, now I'm reclining while putting my time and I'm ready to go. My spine is aligning and much my lineups, my bank account grow. I am so rich, but knowledge is all that I'm leaving it with. Ooh, listen to this, multiple options, how far can I get? Ooh, DFS Dynasty redraft tonight, I'm not finishing last. I'm finishing past any and all, I am looking to last. What else? This spot is popping and I am so locked in and only opening the door when it is opportunity knocking. And all of these spots keep on talking and talking. So what are we talking? What kind of alignment? And running it deep, even players forgotten or came from the bottom or hitting that top. And this spot is popping, yeah, this spot is popping. And woo! This is the armchair, yeah. Put up your arms, yeah. Sound the alarm, yeah. Woo!
What is going on, and welcome to episode 440 of the Armchair Fantasy Show. I am your host, of course, Geoff Lambert. You can follow me on Twitter at JeffLambert77. I'm here with my co-hosts tonight, Tim and Gerson, and it's going to be a bittersweet night because this is quite possibly Tim's last day on the show this year because tomorrow he will be a father. Tim, man, what's up?
Yeah, big news, big news. I'm super excited, but also, like you said, a little bittersweet because I don't know. Next week will be the first Halloween show I haven't been on in almost a decade. So I already told my wife I may try and sneak on for 5 minutes, but like you said, she might kill me in the process. So anyway, I'm just going to enjoy it this week, coming off a big week last week, ready to keep it rolling in week 8.
Good stuff. What's up, G?
What up? Yeah, I mean, congratulations. I know we said this before, but having a kid is a blessing. Not everybody gets to have it, man. So congratulations, Tim. Hope the baby's healthy and beautiful.
Thank you.
Pretty sure it's gonna be a beautiful baby. I mean,
Thank you.
No, I had a pretty good week last week at DFS. I think this week though it's really tough. So hopefully us breaking it down, we can all get. I mean, the way I'm thinking, I don't know if I'm just being an idiot or if I'm onto something.
Yep.
All right, let's get to the rewind.
The weekly rewind. Rewind.
All right, Tim, give us your one good, one bad from last week.
Yeah, it's kind of tough because I want to say the one good was Judkins. I feel like that's an easy one. So I'm gonna go with my one good was my call to fade Breece Hall last week. I had zero exposure to Breece Hall last week. It was obviously worked out. It was tough. Thank you. It was tough, but yeah, to me it just seemed like an obvious spot to go against the field last week, and that was a big reason why I had a big week. Basically, all of my Breece ownership went to Judkins. So. My one bad, though, was that a bunch of that Breece ownership went to Bill, a.k.a. JCM, who put up like 4 points last week against the Cowboys. So you win some, you lose some. But I think overall, fading Breece worked out for me last week.
Yeah, good stuff. And I'll go next here. And my one good was pivoting off Jaden Daniels when I heard that Debo was ruled out. The Commanders able to run the ball. So I was kind of like, I know it's a bad defense, but they couldn't run the ball, and now they don't have their best receiver. I didn't see a scenario where Jaden Daniels was going to have a good game. So I put Patrick Mahomes in over him, and that was a great play. My one bad was my lock of the week. Unfortunately, Roman Dunze and Caleb Williams turned back into pumpkins last week. Absolutely did not show up, either one of them. So that was kind of a bad thing there. But overall, great week. Thanks to, I also faded Breece Hall thanks to Tim's advice. So I faded him, and that worked out for me as well. What about you, G?
My one good was Rashee Rice, my lock of the week. I mean, that's not like something to be happy about or proud of. I mean, like, it's just like, come on, everybody was doing it, I mean,
Yeah. He got even more usage than I expected, though, right out the gate.
Yeah, for sure.
Really? He only get like 18 snaps or something like that, or like?
Yeah, but like they were doing design plays to him, like on the
Oh
first
no.
drive.
They wanted to
Yeah,
get him involved. I think, and I mean,
right.
we said it on the podcast, like, he's gonna get worked in right away. I mean, they want to see what
Right.
they have in the offense. And Patrick Mahomes, whatever I could do right now to bet $100 on Patrick. Yeah, well, I can't do it because I live in
34.
Utah. I would definitely bet Patrick Mahomes to win the MVP. I think.
Yeah.
They'll turn it on. They'll have a good season. But no, I mean, I had Rashee Rice. My one bad, I mean, it was more because of the injuries. I mean, I had a lot of exposure to Jaden Daniel. As soon as I saw that Debo was out, I knew that I wanted to play Jaden Daniels because I was like, all right, people are not going to want to play him. But I was like, it's going to be cheap, and I'll have a run back with CD. He'll make up the ground for those Luke McCaffrey, which he didn't, for Luke McCaffrey. And Moore had a pretty decent game, though, for his price.
Yeah,
everybody played more, so it didn't matter.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, the game didn't go as good as I wanted to for DFS. But yeah, Jaden Daniel gonna really hurt me a lot. But other than that, I mean, I felt like we hit on a lot of plays last
Yeah,
week.
We did. Yeah.
We do have a season-long question in the chat, and I always try to get to all the people that ask questions in the chat. This one is from Chewy. He's talking about a trade here: Bijan Robinson and Adunze to trade away CeeDee Lamb and Judkins. So he's getting, I believe he's getting Bijan and Adunze in this offer. Which one are you going with, G?
I'm going to go with Bijan and Odunze. I think Odunze is an alpha wide receiver. The last two games hasn't been there, but the usage will be there through the season. I get the CD and Judkins, but I think Bijan is poised to have like a MVP. He's not going to get MVP because they only give it to a quarterback, but he's going to be the offensive player of the year.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep. I was going to say I would do anything to get either Bijan or Jonathan Taylor right now. So if one of those guys is in the trade, I'm always going to pick that side.
Yeah, I think I heard a stat today that Bijan has accounted for like 41% of his team's scrimmage yards, which is the highest for any one player since Adrian Peterson in his MVP season. So that's the kind of he's having right now. So I agree. I think Bijan and Adunze is the way I'm going. All right, time to get to the quarterbacks.
Let's talk quarterbacks.
All right, Tim, take us away here.
Yeah, so first quarterback I clicked on when I opened the slate was Bo Nix. And this is somebody we liked last week. Obviously, I didn't think he would be breaking the slate, but obviously he played really, really well. And he gets this week an even better matchup against the Dallas Cowboys, giving up the most points to quarterbacks. The only thing that worries me is I feel like you don't play a guy after he breaks the slate, but he has the best possible matchup. So I feel like at least from an optimal standpoint and in cash, he's going to be my favorite quarterback. I do think there's another guy I think probably has a higher ceiling for tournaments. But the thing I like about Bo Nix is he's actually running the ball and particularly running it down in the goal, near the goal line. And they're also passing a lot around the goal line. Like it's just all the optimal conditions for a quarterback at 6K. So yeah, he's by far my favorite quarterback, and I think he's got to be your quarterback in cash.
Yeah, absolutely. I had him first on my list as well when I saw who he was playing, and I think Nix is a great call. What about you, G? What's one of your favorite plays this week?
No, I think Nix is the number one player this week for quarterback.
Yeah.
We've been doing it all year. I mean, who are the Cowboys playing? Boom, last week was just a fluke. It was just injuries. Even Mariota looked pretty decent against them.
He had 18 points before he got hurt. Like that's all you need to know.
Yep.
Sorry, I got thirsty. So this week, we got Bo Nix. I think with the injury to AJ Brown being out, really opens up a lot of opportunity for the ability to stack Jalen Hurts. If it wasn't for that, then I probably would have not been on it. But I think the Eagles are starting to realize, especially they lost their center, I believe. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they lost their center and Jurgen or whatever his name is, and they are not running the ball very well at all, and they know they're not. So what do? They went to the passing game, and it's working. The passing game's working. Dallas Goedert. Now it'll be a very condensed target tree to Goddard and Devontae Smith, and the run back. It could work. Like, it's not bad at all. So I think the pricing is there. And plus the upside with Hurt, rushing upside, is also there. He hasn't had a great, amazing game, rushing upside, but we know he can do it. Yeah. So if he gets, he had I think last week was his best passing game of his career, if I'm correct, right?
Yeah.
But
definitely the best
most efficient, I think. Most efficient, I believe, because he. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and there's always the possibility that he gets a couple push touchdowns as well, which is always
right.
Yeah, but it's against the Giants. It's just I think the Giants can also score on the Eagles. The Giants have been very impressive. Like, people are not giving them a lot of credit. I'm not gonna lie to him. I was watching that Giant and Broncos game, and it was only because I had Jackson Dart as my super flex quarterback, and I needed him to get points. And the funny thing is, I had Bo Nix on my other quarterback in Superflex. And I was like, you freaking piece of crap. And then I didn't watch the whole fourth quarter.
Oh,
yeah.
Next thing I know is that Bo Nix had 44 points on my fantasy team. And I was like, what the? But we can see that the Giants give up points in a bunches. It's going to be very tricky this week because you really have to decide your poison with quarterback. And I think the way you build your roster starts it always does, but this week it's even more important because the salary that you spend on quarterback is really going to determine what you do with the rest of your roster.
Absolutely.
So,
100%.
I love the Philadelphia Eagles this week. I'm going to have a lot of exposure to Jalen Hurts. Devontae Smith, for the price he is amazing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to take the guy at the top there, which I'm going to kind of add a caveat. Like, Lamar Jackson is one of the top plays there as far as price point goes. However, I don't know if you could build a great lineup with him in the lineup. So I would be listening to the injury reports coming into Sunday and seeing if he's going to be limited at all. Because if he's all in his rushing ability, because I think you almost have to run. I guess you could stack him with like a Zay Jones. Zay Flowers if you wanted to. But I'm a little nervous paying 6.8 when we talk about those running backs that we're going to be getting to a little bit. When you got Jamar Chase without Sauce Gardner playing, I don't know how you Lamar Jackson, but if you can find a way to do it, and he is fully healthy, and they do give him a full clearance. Obviously, he's always in play. Just to speed it along, because we got a ton of receivers and running backs to talk about. I'm going to just mention a couple more top quarterbacks. Baker Mayfield, we had on the list.
Yep.
And Dak Prescott as well as some of our favorite top quarterbacks. Tim, kick off the value section here. What do you got for one of your value quarterbacks?
Yeah, I'm wacko for Flacco this week, man. He's definitely my favorite value quarterback. We saw last week, as you just mentioned, Sauce Gardner is out. He's going to do exactly what he just did to the Pittsburgh Steelers, which is throw the ball 23 times to Jamar Chase. Like, I don't know if he does it 23 times again, but we know he's going to be slinging it. Chase Brown is just not getting it done. He looked a little bit better last week, but I think Flacco is going to throw the ball 40 times in this matchup. And he has the second highest touchdown prop for any quarterback on the slate.
Wow.
So for 5,400, man, I'm just going to be stacking it up every which way because I think there's really two guys and maybe a third that you're going to play him with. So makes it super straightforward, and then you can just mix and match everything else.
Yeah, agreed. What about you, Gerson? What you got for your value?
So I never thought I was going to wake up and talk about this guy today until I actually did more research. Oh man, I can't believe I'm saying this. Please, if this just goes horribly bad, can we just edit this part of the show and delete it off YouTube? Spencer Rattler. Stone Cold Steve Austin rattlesnake guy right here, man. So I was wondering, like, I look at projections on a lot of sites, and they had him projected pretty well, but then I was curious, like, why? Todd Bowles loves the blitz. And yeah, he struggled sometimes, but in the 2 games that he had last year, he had 484 yards and 2 touchdowns per game. So you're going to tell me at 4.7K, I can get 240 yards, 2 touchdowns, and he has rushing upside. It's there, 4,700. And then you're going to be able to stack it with very cheap weapons. Doesn't matter. I mean, there's a way to go, and we'll talk about it on the show, but it's against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are also depleted on offense, and the pace is going to be there. The offensive pace is going to be there. Both teams, run the highest pace in the league. I think the Tampa Bay are top 10, and then I believe I could be wrong. I didn't look at this, but New Orleans is also like top 5. Like they run like 80 plays a game or something like that. But it's gonna be a high paced game. I do worry about Todd Bowles' Boston scheme. His Boston scheme is like, I don't know how to say it. It's like probably the most impressive one in the whole football league, like in the NFL.
Yeah.
But if like I said, you're gonna have to get different this week. And this is the way you're going to get different, is by picking a quarterback that's cheap, because those running backs and wide receivers we're about to talk about, they ain't cheap. I mean, we're going from like, I don't know how to say this, like, they're taking our lunch money for sure at wide receiver and running back.
Yeah.
I'll talk about one more guy, and then I'll just mention the last couple quarterbacks that we have on there, and it's Caleb Williams, who I think kind of burned some people last week, but he's getting Baltimore, whose defense has been absolutely terrible this year, and he's only 5.6, and it's also, I believe, it's still the highest Vegas total on the slate at 50.5 points. I believe is the last time I saw it. So you're going to have a lot of points scored in this game. I already talked about Lamar Jackson. If he's healthy, it's going to be a little bit of back and forth. So I do like Caleb Williams at 5.6 here as well. And then we have Michael Penix versus Miami, because it's Miami, and Andy Dalton at 4.5 also is on the list as well. Let's go ahead and get to our tight ends.
Did somebody say tight ends?
All right, Gerson, kick us off here at the tight end position. Who you got for one of your favorite plays?
Sorry, you caught me off guard. I'm trying to see if Luka got 34 points.
Oh, I can go to Tim first.
So they did. Gerson, is it a 2 tight end week? That is the question.
Yes, it is, Tim. It's also Gerson won $3,000 right now. So
nice.
Yeah.
No, thank you, Luka. Let's see. Yes, it is. I think like this is a way that you're also going to have flexibility to get value. There are probably 3 tight ends that I really love at the value tier. But either way, there's also the tight ends that are even mid-value. Those tight ends are producing at wide receiver 1 level. I mean, Tyler Warren. Oh, I didn't mean to talk about him. But yeah, Tyler Warren is the first wide receiver, first tight end. Oh, sorry, Tim. Go ahead. It was you, right? It wasn't me.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, go for it.
Go for it.
It's Tyler Warren. Warren is just playing not at the Brock Bowers level he was playing last year, but he leads all tight ends in yards per game at 62.7, and he's crushing zone coverage, which is what they run the most. The Tennessee Titan, and that's about 2.9 yards per route run. So if he runs a lot of route, obviously, but I will say this, it really pisses me off because Tyler Warren is like the king of having great production in the first half. And in the second half, it's like you only get like 3 points.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell, dude? Like, I need you to play the whole game, But then again, I start thinking about it. They're blowing out teams in the second half. They don't need a pass,
Just hand the ball to Jonathan at that point.
Yeah. Oh, and the crazy thing is, I'm like, all right, what is Daniel Jones doing? If you really go look at Daniel Jones stat on rushing, he's not even running the ball that much. He's just getting rushing touchdowns. But, give me Tyler Warren, even at that mid-tier price. I'm telling you, you're going to want to do a 2 tight end this week. And I believe I don't even play cash game. If I was playing cash game, I'd probably do a 2 tight end week.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So that's what I was going to say. 2 things. One, you guys know I almost always run 3 running backs, but this week I really think 2 tight ends is the most viable it's been because we have so little value you can really depend on. But the other thing, the narrative, you guys know I love a narrative, that it National Tight End Day.
Yeah.
So if there was ever a day to
Oh, my
run tight
God.
end, it's National Tight End Day. So I'm going to go with the guy that was almost my lock of the week with news that A.J. Brown was out today. It's Dallas Goedert. This dude has not only been killing it this year, he had 29 points in this matchup a couple weeks ago. No A.J. Brown this time, and it's National Tight End Day. So you basically just book him for a touchdown. 5 for 55 and a touchdown puts him at like 16 points for 4,200. That's 4x value. You smash that every day of the week. So I will be heavily exposed to Dallas Goedert this weekend.
Yeah, I love that
Nice.
call for sure. When that AJ Brown news broke, a lot of things changed for sure because they were talking about him. He could still play if he doesn't practice. They kept saying that, and they finally ruled him
Yeah.
out. And that opens up some value for sure. And Goddard is definitely one of them. So y'all took some of the guys that I was going to talk about, but one of them that has been kind of coming on strong. If you watch my season-long show, I talked him up all off season. He's been disappointment through the first couple of weeks, but Evan Ingram, again,
Yeah.
to that Broncos game with Bo Nix and how high scoring it should be at 4.1. He started to come on recently. He's got now 20 targets over his last 3 games. So I think Evan, someone that you can put into your lineup and feel comfortable getting a stack with Bo Nix maybe. He only has the 1 touchdown on the season, but maybe he can get another TD here against his terrible Dallas defense. Let's see. Well, Tim, I'll go to you one more time, and we'll get another tight end here, and then we'll move to the value tier.
Yeah. First of all, I'm shocked that on National Tight End Day, Geoff does not have George Kittle.
I know. I was like, huh.
So I'm going to talk about a guy. Every time I pick this guy, I feel like it doesn't work out for me, but I feel like it's everybody. It's Kyle Pitts. Okay. But I think it's a Pitts week. Everybody, and we're going to talk about this. We talked about, Geoff kind of skipped over Michael Penix a little bit. Like everybody is going to be playing Bijan Robinson this weekend, and for good reason, right? But like you look at Jonathan Taylor, and people are pivoting out of him, Daniel Jones, but nobody's playing Michael Penix this weekend. And so I think one of the cheapest, best stacks you can get is Michael Penix to Kyle Pitts, because he'll be skipped because there's a lot of other popular tight ends right around him. That's super cheap for your first stack. And, you can put Bijan in there and still fit in a couple other high-priced players. So that's how I'm going to be getting cheap this week, is playing Penix stacks with Pitts.
Yeah, I love that call for sure. All right, a couple other guys. You mentioned George Kittle on the list. Dalton Schultz. I
for
had
sure.
value tier, so I'll let Gerson talk about Dalton Schultz, but also Jake Ferguson at 6K. But Gerson, talk about Dalton Schultz because you had him as one of your favorite plays, not just in the value.
Yeah. So Dalton Schultz. I mean, we obviously got the news that Nico Collin will be out. I mean, we wanted to play the song, but we couldn't today.
Yeah.
He's no longer balling today.
No, he's not balling.
No, he's not balling.
Yeah, I mean, Dalton Schultz. I mean, it's just like we said. There's gonna be this week. It's gonna be double tight end week. Dalton Schultz. To me, this is the way I'm gonna get the 2 tight end. It's gonna be either him, Goddard, or Jake Ferguson. I know we didn't mention Jake Ferguson, but just the production he getting and the touchdown equity. I mean, like I'm telling you, they go down to the red zone, and he's like the number 1 guy that what's his name, Prescott looks at. He doesn't even look at CD. He just like looks right at him. And I say that because I watch a lot of Cowboy games, sadly. But no, Joe's getting peppered with target. I mean, he got how many targets did he get last week?
10. He had 10 targets last week.
10 target, and he's only going to get more this week. And the price we're looking at him is just ridiculous for what he's going to get. 3.3K. It's going to be there. There's no CJ Stroud is one of those quarterbacks I swear he has only one eye, and it goes like this, and that's it, And I guess you could say he has one read,
Right.
And I as much as sorry, go ahead, Geoff.
Good. I was like, he's going to drop back to pass, and he's going to see 2 rookies out there, and Xavier Hutchinson. He's like, oh, where's Schultz?
Yeah.
Well, he's going to be like, I'm not Rocco Best. You guys played at Iowa State. So, yeah, like it's just 2 teammates and Jalen Noel and Jaden Higgin. I mean, it's going to be hard for what's his name? Stroud to get comfortable with what he has out there. And the guy he has the most comfort, like what we would call a comfort blanket, right? It's definitely GOAT. And we saw it last week, 10 target, and there wasn't like
that's what I was gonna say.
It was like what do you call them? Check down route? Is that what you call them?
Yeah.
Check down route, like boom, GOAT right there, boom, GOAT right there. And if that's how it was last week, it's gonna be even more like that this week. So I know people probably don't like this. He's not sexy. Like I know he's not a sexy call, but sometimes if you drink enough beers, that girl will look sexy.
Yeah, for sure.
True.
All right, Tim.
And at 3,300, she can look pretty sexy.
For sure.
Yeah, I was just gonna say the other guy I really like is $100 more, and it's Kate Otten for a lot of the same reasons, right? Like I think they're kind of the coin flip this week. I'm not playing them probably together because I think you're going to play one of the lower price guys with one of the higher ones. But anyway, I think they're both excellent values, depending on how you want to go. So Kate Otten's right there. No Mike Evans. Good matchup against the Saints. A couple weeks ago when Mike Evans was out, he played 100% of snaps. Yeah. And you don't realize there's only a couple tight ends in the whole league that play 100% of snaps. Yep. So, I mean, that's really the case for Kate Otten.
All right.
You remember when Kate Otten got hurt last year and we all played the backup tight end for like $3,000 or $2,000? No, you're like $2,500 and he smashed.
Yeah. He did.
For sure. Yeah. I'll mention the last couple of guys. Of course, we got the news that Cole Kmet is ruled out. So Loveland at 3 is viable, and Mason Taylor at 3.5 also on our value list. All right, let's get to the running backs.
It's time for running backs.
All right, Gerson. Pick one of those top 3 that you want to talk about because those are the 2 studs on this slate for sure.
All right, guys. This is how we're going to do it. Ready?
Yeah.
We're going to play Bijan Robinson. And then we have to figure out the rest. He's not my lock of the week, but you'll figure out why he's not. Yeah, I mean, Bijan, he's in the all-time just smash position. I mean, Bijan just this year, like I said early on, he's playing at an MVP level, but we know they don't get the MVP. Running backs don't get the MVP. The Dolphins are allowing the most schedule-adjusted fantasy points per game to opposing running back, plus 3.8, and they have given up either 100-yard scrimmage yard or 26 fantasy points to every running back they face since week 2. I mean, if that doesn't explain a run funnel defense or like just smash the lock button whoever they're playing, I don't know what does. And Robinson has the most carries this year, the third most carry. He's been utilized 73%. I mean, this guy is just a monster. And the best part is, like, this is the first year that we can honestly say that we're seeing his pass catching ability. I mean, I would not be shocked if we see a season like what Marshall Faulk had, where Marshall Faulk, Geoff knows this because he played in his days. We're not that old, but
no. It reminds me of prime LT. That's what I really think of. He reminds me of prime LT. Yeah.
Right. Geoff knows who LT is too. Don't worry.
Yeah. I know both LTs.
Not Lawrence Taylor. Okay. It's a different LT.
My bad. The other LT, LaDainian Tomlinson. Oh, I thought you were talking about Lawrence Taylor. My bad.
So what I wanted to say is that when I first opened this slate, right, when you're going through Monday, Tuesday, you're looking at first look, my first thought was, oh, dude, I'm jamming in Jonathan Taylor and I'm jamming in Bijan Robinson and I'm figuring the rest out, right? The problem is when you do that, your build looks really ugly. And so as more time has gone out, I am more convinced that if you do that, not only do you have a very specific build that everyone else will be on, but you leave yourself a lot of potential for like a 4 or a 5 in your lineup, and then you're just dead.
Okay. Let me just say this. So everybody knows this if you play DFS. There are optimizers out there. There are simulation optimizers nowadays. There are Chat GPT. There are AI. There are OnlyFans account out there creating rosters, I swear. I'm not lying to you. But in those optimizers right now, if you ran it out, and the one I have right now, out of 150 rosters, Bijan is in 90% of them. 135 rosters. That's how great of a play he is. but you got to figure out your roster construction, though.
Yep, start there.
Correct.
Click his name first, figure the rest out. Tim, what you got for one of your top plays?
I thought you were just going to hit it because that's my top play.
I was going to do the 3 top ones, and then I was going to come back to that one.
Yeah.
Let's do it. All right. And this one gets the double drop.
Lock it in.
Yeah, to me, this is the easiest play on the slate. You open it up, other than maybe Bo Nix. Like, I think they're equally like this guy, you click this guy. Okay? Derrick Henry at home in a favored matchup for 6K. Like, I don't really know what else I need to say. I did have the notes that he averages 21 DK points and wins. This is the cheapest price he's been since 2019. Bears allow the 7th most DK points to running backs, and they're giving up over 3 yards before first contact.
Yeah.
All of the ingredients for a Derrick Henry pie, baby. So yeah, I don't see how he doesn't absolutely smash in this spot. This is the classic. Yeah, you do. So tell me.
If Lamar doesn't play.
Oh, that would be.
It would just stack the box.
Yeah, if Lamar doesn't play, I'm out. Right, this play is totally assuming. Right now, it looks like Lamar is going to play. But to your point, that's why I like him even more, because I think they're going to do just enough to move the ball down the field, keep them moving on third downs, keep Derrick Henry on the field, and it's going to be a Derrick Henry game if they can manage it, and then just move on to the next week.
Yep.
So let Lamar get healthy. But yeah, I think they know he started to look a little bit like himself last week. Couldn't quite get in for the touchdown. This is the week, man. I feel like Derrick Henry is one of those plays. If you don't have this week, you're going to be chasing all the teams that do.
Yeah.
How long have we been doing this show, Geoff?
Almost 10 years. I believe it might even be 10.
Okay. So the last time Derrick Henry was $6,000. Can you guys take a guess?
He just said it. 2009.
20.
Oh, you know what? Okay. Yeah, that's crazy. Like, that's insane. I mean, if Lamar plays, lock him in, like Tim said.
Yeah.
Lock him in.
I was a single man. Like, Geoff had a normal haircut. Like, things were very different in 2019.
G could drink beer without getting heartburn.
I know.
For sure.
Right?
All right, I'll go next here.
We all should have invested in Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Shut up. Don't let me know my bad time.
For sure.
Take all that DFS money and put it into Bitcoin.
I'm just going to mention Jonathan Taylor, because obviously he's so good, man.
Yeah,
he's going to break. He's Saquon. He's this year's Saquon.
Yeah.
Right? He's got 10 touchdowns in 7 weeks.
Yeah.
And
we told everybody, like, 6 weeks ago, Jonathan Taylor is going to come to this price one day, and we're going to regret that we were playing him at a locked-in price. Basically,
he was 7,400 at one time.
I said in our chat last week, I said, I really want to play Jonathan Taylor. And they said, I don't know. I think he's too expensive. And I said, but he's going to get 30, though. And he got 34. Like, at this point, I really feel like you're going to just got to figure it out.
I think he had like 25 points at half.
Yeah.
That's how crazy it was.
Insane.
Yeah. The one thing you didn't mention about Bijan is that normally if they're ahead after 3 quarters, they put in Algier, but he's hurt. He's limited all week. He might play, but they're only going to give him probably 5 to 7 snaps. So Bijan's going to play the whole game, which I think is just huge.
That's for sure. The only guy I was going to mention that obviously JT was one, but Rachaad White at New Orleans at 6.4. He played 90% of the snaps last week. I mean, he was on the field. I think only 6 snaps did he not play. The Saints are actually pretty decent against the run, but we know that White gets all his value from the passing game anyway. So he'll catch a bunch of passes out of the backfield. At 6.4, I think he's at an excellent price point. I'm not worried about another running back taking any of his shares, and we know that the Bucs are a high-flying offense, and they like to throw the ball over the field. So White is definitely one of my top plays.
Yeah, if I don't play 2 tight ends, it's because I'm playing Henry, White, Bijan.
For sure. All right, Christian McCaffrey, I'm just going to mention he's also in that top
for sure.
Stud. So the 3 big names: Taylor, Bijan, Christian McCaffrey. Let's move down into the value tier. And Gerson, you got a name on the list there that me and Tim don't have. Talk about Chase Brown a little bit.
I mean, it's a name that nobody has, basically, because he has burned everybody for like the first, well, I guess you could say 6 weeks. But yeah, I mean, we saw Chase Brown kind of become relevant last week against the Steelers. He got 11 carries for 108 yards. I mean, this is the part where you're just like, what the, hey, you know what? I've been doing pretty good at not swearing on this show this year.
Yeah, you have.
It should be very, yeah, he had -8 yards. That was the part where you're like, what the, and yeah, I mean, 108 yards. They're just moving the ball a lot better with Joe Flacco. That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
And if you can get to the red zone against the Jets, which is, I mean, I don't even know what to say about the Jets. That's just embarrassing, like the way they're playing this year. Yeah. But Samaje Perine also is no longer very much into the workload. Brown led the snap share in 63 to 38%. I mean, before that, it used to be like almost like 40-60 or 55. It's a lot better. But the Jets allowed the third fewest adjusted against yard before contact. But I think it's more they allowed the 10th most rushing yards per game, 100 yards, and the third fewest receiving yards. But if the Jets go, I believe the Bengals will go ahead. Like, I love the Flacco call. The only thing that worries me about the Flacco call is who the hell are you going to run it back with,
Yeah.
You're
not running back doing that. Yeah.
You're not.
But let's say Chase and Higgins, which Higgins is a great price, but Chase and Higgins get their production and you go down to that 1 yard line or something. Hopefully, I would not be shocked. And I don't know what the odds are on Chase Brown getting multiple touchdowns, but I'd go drop a little $10, $25 parlay on them or pick them on them.
Agreed.
For sure. All right, Tim, you get the same guy, so why don't you talk about him?
Yeah, the reemergence of DeAndre Swift. I think this was mostly because they're coming off two pretty easy opponents. But I mean, the Baltimore Ravens have not been the Baltimore Ravens this year. So they show that they're pretty committed to him. They did give Monangai a few touches a couple weeks ago, but they were way ahead in that game and were trying to kind of finish it off. So I really like his role. This is kind of the role he had a little bit when he was in Detroit, where they're using him, really like, 80% of the time. If they can keep this game close, I think they want to run the ball, right? Like, I think that's the Ben Johnson system, is that they want to run the ball. So they will obviously start slinging it. And I think that's why Caleb stacks are very viable this week if they get behind. But I think if everybody's going to say, oh, I'm going to play Henry because they're going to be way ahead, which I think is a great play. If the game script goes the other way, Henry's damn near useless, and DeAndre Swift becomes a great play. So this is all, like Gerson said, it's all game script dependent. And if Lamar's out, I think Swift becomes one of the better plays on the slate.
Yeah, 100%.
Swift looks a lot better this year. Like, he just looks more elusive. He looks more vibrant.
Team, I think, is a really good fit for him.
Yeah,
I think it matters a lot. They were trying to put like a square peg in the round hole thing, and I think they're like, oh, we can actually use him instead of just between the tackles.
I mean, I don't know offensive line grading, but their offensive line also looks a lot better running. So
it does. Yeah.
All right. Only guy we didn't mention is Breece Hall at 6,100. We touched on the rest of them. Let's get to wide receiver.
And that one I do not feel good about.
A GPP for sure.
And now, wide receivers.
All right, Tim, talk about one of your favorite plays here.
Yeah, well, I'm just going to take the elephant in the room is Jamar Chase, right? Coming off the kind of the game this year, like I said, 23 targets, 16 receptions, 41 expected fantasy points, and then he gets no Sauce Gardner this week. He is set up for one of those 40-point Jamar Chase performances. And we saw, obviously, Flacco Like the ball was barely in his hand last week before he was like, "Where's Jamar Chase? Where's Jamar Chase?" So
I don't know how I don't know how that quarterback couldn't figure that shit out before he got replaced. I'm like, bro, like
he did. He
come
literally
on.
walked over to Jake Browning on the bench and was like, "I see. All you had to do is throw it to Jamar. Like it's not hard."
Like
And
he
so I
grabbed
think
a
that's what it's
tablet.
gonna
He
be this
grabbed a
week.
tablet and goes like this. Hey, see, this is what happened.
Yeah, it's super easy. And what I really liked about the offense last week is they were not, like you said, just trying to use him on downfield passes. They were like, if we need 3 yards, we're going to let Jamar get those 3 yards.
Yep.
And so that's one of the biggest reasons I'm kind of, thinking the Chase Brown thing may not work out is they're just basically using him as a short yardage back at this point and letting him do his thing. So on a PPR site, especially, I think he's going to get at least 12 targets probably in this game, 10 catches. He's going to get the yak. So yeah, I don't. It's really, really hard for me to see how I can do the 2 top running backs because I think Bijan plus Chase lineups just look so much better to me. So I think that's kind of my core build this week.
Yeah,
I think you can do it though because you can do Henry at 6,000 and Bijan at
Absolutely, yeah.
So.
Bijan, Henry, Chase, that's great, and Goddard. That's where I'm starting this week.
For sure.
That's my 4-4 for those out there.
I'll go next here, and I'll go ahead and do our locks of the week.
Lock it in.
My lock of the week is Devonta Smith. We've already talked about AJ Brown being out this week, so he moves into that number 1 role. He's only 5.9. Gets a great matchup with the New York Giants, coming off a monster game. I don't have his stats in front of me, but I think he had like 10 catches or here it is, 9 catches on 11 targets, 183 yards and a touchdown. So I think Devonta Smith pretty much, after you've hit Bijan, I think Devonta Smith might be the next name that I'm hitting at 5.9. Price point is just too good for the matchup and for AJ Brown being out as well. So he is my lock. And now we'll do Gerson's lock.
Lock it in.
Man, I'm glad you did that because I just burped in the middle of that. I think you ever who was it that said it? Tim knows it. It's Birdman, right? Put some respect on my name or something like that.
Yeah.
It makes sense. He is from the deep south, so put some respect on my name. Like Chris Olave. I mean, this guy. If we ever just want to smash the button on targets, you're gonna push him. But yeah, I mean, Chris Olave. I've been playing him every week. I mean, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think he wasn't every Rashee Rice, but it was between him and Rashee Rice for my lock of the week, and I would have just either way hit him, but
yeah.
Okay, so Chris Olave, so he is priced as a DraftKings wide receiver 12 on the main slate. Olave the wide receiver 3 in expected points per game at 19.1. But he's actually wide receiver 17 at actual points per game, 15.4. 15.4 equals 3 times value for his salary, basically.
Correct.
That's not bad. But if he gets a touchdown, because usually when people put projection, the touchdown equity doesn't go into it unless, your name is Jonathan Taylor, Bijan Robinson, the big running back. But I just think his price at $5,800 in this game environment where I said that it's going to be one of the highest paced game. I mean, you only ranked 7th in 11 personnel usage at 70%. If you don't know what 11 personnel is, it's 1 running back, 1 tight end, and 3 wide receivers. So in case you don't know what that means, there is 3 wide receivers on the field at all times, so Olave is there. So that's what we want in our wide receivers, basically to be on the field at all time. Olave is always there. Spencer Rattler, like I said early on, he's going to get blitzed the heck out of. And his comfort blanket, it used to be Juwan Johnson, but he kind of fell off the map lately.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Now it's Olave. And Olave at 5,800, it gives me a lot of Rashee Rice vibe of last week.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to want to play him. He's going to be the highest. I mean, I think he is the highest owned wide receiver on ownership, right? I haven't even looked at ownership to be
second behind Jamar Chase.
Yeah, behind Chase.
I mean, if you're right behind Jamar Chase for ownership at that price, you're doing something right. So, I mean, Olave 5,800. The ownership going to be there. It's almost like a lock of the week. Oh wait, this is my lock of the week.
This is your lock of the week.
Lock of the week.
All right. Let's see. Tim, why don't you talk about one of the other receivers you got there on your list?
Yeah, so this guy was almost my lock of the week, but I didn't want us to do 3 receivers. If I was going to build a lineup that did not have Jamar Chase in it, it's because I want to play Cortland Sutton. I feel like every week he's been almost there. And this week, what I really love about him is he's not getting the love on projections. A lot of projection sites have him like 14 to 16 points. So Smith is a better play. Olave is a better play. Even Stephon Diggs is a better play. So I'm going to play Sutton. Last week, Dallas played a lot more man defense with Trevon Diggs back in the lineup. And I expect him to be on Sutton this week, and he gets absolutely he murders man defense. So I expect this to be the Sutton week. Goes over 100 yards with a touchdown. 25-ish DraftKings points. He's a core play for me this week. Before we got on the show, actually, and I saw y'all's locks of the week, I said I think I'm going with Sutton, Smith, and Olave. So seeing that on the sheet makes me feel a lot better right now with that trio of wide receivers.
For sure. All right, we still got a bunch to get to, so I'm just going to name a couple more of the top guys, and then we'll get to the value on this slate. I got Drake London on there. I got Roma Dunze on there, and Buka is also in play, obviously for that game. And then let's see. Well, Gerson's got a guy on there that we actually have as a value. So, Gerson, why don't you kick off the value tier, but talk about Zay Flowers at 5.4.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, if Lamar plays, this whole slate basically changes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one comment that Tim made early on, like if Lamar plays, we don't expect him to run the ball quite a bit.
No.
I really don't. I mean, I don't think the coaches want him to run the ball. But knowing Lamar, he might just say, "Fuck it, I'll run it." Oop, sorry,
you got it.
Yeah, you said it earlier. You jinxed yourself.
Yeah, it's all your fault, Geoff. No, but yeah, I mean, Zay Flowers, the price he's at, it just kind of, it's amazing. I mean, to me, Zay Flowers, the usage is going to be there. I mean, he spends about 37% in the slot of all the wide receivers on there, and they're going to dominate that. I mean, they in that matchup is going to dominate that. And I think, to me, I don't see the Raven has to win this game. There's no way they can lose this game, because if they lose this game,
over.
Their season's over. I mean, you're looking at a lottery pick. It's not even a lottery pick. It's
you're competing for a wild card. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. You're lucky if you even get that, though. That's the thing.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you're fighting.
I mean, you're fighting for life, I guess. But in 3 full games with Lamar this season, Zay Flowers has tried to share 29%. That would rank wide receiver 7. His ceiling is high, and I'm going. Shoot. I wouldn't be shocked. Like last week, it was Olave, Rashee Rice, and oh man, I'm forgetting the third. Oh, Sutton, which is a pivot for us. But this week, I have like Olave. Welcome back to the club, amigo. Lock of the week. Zay Flowers and Devontae Smith. I mean, those 3 wide receivers, I expect them to be the most. Like if you play head to head, they're gonna be in there.
Be everywhere. Yep. For sure. I'll go next here with my one of my favorite value players here, and it's Michael Pittman at 5.6. I love to use that FTN matchup tool. The number 1 matchup this week is Rashee Rice, who's not on the slate. The number 2 matchup is Michael Pittman. So I do think at 5.6, he kind of had a down week 2 weeks ago. Showed up again last week with 7 catches for 58 yards and a touchdown. So I think once again, Pittman can be that guy, that end zone guy. So at 5.6, he's a great play, I believe, in the value tier, especially with the ownership that we expect to see on a guy like Zay Flowers. I don't think anybody's gonna be clicking on Pittman's name, so I like him a lot. Tim, what you got for one of your values?
Before we do, I just realized I forgot to say something. All week, I've been hearing Patrick Surtain's going to be on CeeDee Lamb. Patrick Surtain's going to be on CeeDee Lamb. Okay? This is not what's going to happen. And if he is, he's only going to be on him like half the time. Okay? Talented wide receiver like CeeDee Lamb can absolutely get there in half the snaps. And even then, he can get there even with Surtain on him. But Surtain only plays outside. He does not go into the slot. And CD plays a lot of his snaps out of the slot. So I mentioned a lot, and I'm going to say it again here in a second. I really like Broncos this week. My preferred run back is CeeDee Lamb in those stacks. So what I was going to say is when I was like looking at stats this week, I saw a lot of people were on Troy Franklin. And I like Troy Franklin, but I think Marvin Mims is a better play this week, and he's cheaper, right? He's got the better schematic matchup against man. He gets Kari Elam on the outside, which is Dallas's worst corner. And he seems to be Mo Nix's preferred matchup for the deep ball, right? Which is really what you're looking for at 3,900. Yeah. So I don't want to give Geoff's stack of the week away, but I mean, that's basically where I'm starting most of my lineups this week is with that core.
Yeah.
So I love Marvin Mims, and he's probably like, of all the 39-ish, $35 to $4,000 wide receivers, I think Marvin Mims is my favorite.
Good stuff. And just to back up those numbers with the CeeDee Lamb matchup, I got it pulled up here. Patrick Surtain plays in the slot 7% of the time.
7%.
CeeDee Lamb is in the slot 35% of the time. So he's going to see some snaps without Surtain on him for sure. So definitely.
Can I just say this? I think in the DFS industry, like, yes, there is a borderline, like, constructive, like, roster building, like, wide receiver versus corner. But, like, the thing is, like, you have to get more analytic than just match. Oh, my goodness. Wow. Patrick Surtain, he can cover freaking CeeDee Lamb, Oh, Jalen Ramsey, he's going to cover, the best wide receiver on the other team. Dude, like, come on, bro. Like, we're not in 2000.
Yeah, the cornerback that follows the receivers don't really happen anymore. It's not as prevalent as
now. And they scheme guys all over the field. Like it's I think people are like, oh, I'm going to X him out of my player pool. It's just wild. Absolutely
I just think it's because the NFL has like evolved so much. Like quarterbacks are audibling. They're calling audible more on the plays, and they change the play right at the. I mean, okay, so hold on. Let me rephrase that. I think the coaches having the ability to talk into the mic for 25 seconds, and the quarterback can hear it. I mean, when you have a guy like Sean McVay, boom, 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 boom. When you have a guy like Sean Payton, you're just gonna be like, "What the fuck are you saying, dude? Like, relax, But yeah,
Yeah, for real, I think I agree with that 100%. I think with all the motion that they use, and CeeDee Lamb, and he's probably going to be lower owned, especially when you compare him to Higgins. He's going to be
for sure.
Click on in GPPs for sure. Let's see, Gerson, we still got plenty of value to get to, so give me one more of your value.
So we're talking about Jaden Higgins and Jalen Noel. Let's do that. I do believe that Jaden Higgins is the more talented wide receiver, but Jalen Noel is the wide receiver that's fitting more comfortable with CJ Stroud. They're both, I guess you can say they both came out of the same college, basically.
Yep.
And I mean, how awesome would that be? Like, oh, dude, hey, what's up, dude? You here too? But their value, no Nico Collins. We saw early on. This could go very bad sideways, though. I will say that. Because that Texans offensive line is not very good. And if they put pressure on CJ Stroud, all right, that's cool. But you know who he's going to? Don Ghost. So he's in the tight end call. But obviously, both of those wide receivers are great. They can be value, not great value. They can be value for their price. I believe, let me see. Jaden Higgins, 3.5K, and I believe, wow, I don't even have Noel price. Oh, 3.5. They're both 3.5.
Both 35, yeah.
But I do believe Jalen Noel is a better play. Again, you have to. Okay, hold on. 3.5K. Guess who else is 3.5K? That's on their team. Dalton Schultz.
Oh, it's Dalton Schultz. Yeah.
Yeah. So Dalton Schultz is what? Is he 3.5 or 3.4?
3.4, I think.
He's
Yeah.
3,300. Yeah.
So even 200.
So you get my point here. Like, would you rather play the guy that's actually going to get everything and you feel comfortable with, or would you rather play the 2 wide receivers in the flex spot? I don't know. Do the math.
Yeah. The one thing with
I agree with Noel though. If I want to play one Houston receiver, I think it's Noel.
Yeah, for sure. One thing I will say too about the pressure on CJ Stroud, they're playing my 49ers, and obviously we lost Nick Bosa, and then last week we had sort of a guy emerge in Bryce Huff, putting on a ton of pressure on the Falcons quarterback. Unfortunately, he is now also out, so pressure is not going to be easy to get to Stroud. So we probably have to which if they're blitzing, that opens up the door even more for Schultz and for Noel, because he's also the slot receiver there. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, I show the 49ers currently have the second lowest pressure rating on the slate.
Yeah, Salah doesn't like to blitz, and we've been blitzing like crazy because we can't get to the quarterback. So I was excited because Bryce Huff was getting to the quarterback last week, and now he's also out. So it's the story of our whole season. Everybody's just hurt.
Except for CMC.
Except for CMC.
Yeah. He did.
Yeah, I'm gonna mention
knock on wood. Knock on wood.
Team. Yeah, knock on wood. Yeah. I mentioned the last couple guys that we didn't talk about. Tez Johnson for the Bucks, who's kind of had a bit of a mini emergence there. Rashid Shaheed at 4.7 on there, and it looks like we mentioned everybody else. So let's get to the defenses.
Defense.
All right, Tim, what you got?
Man, on a slate with no or very little value, where we're talking about playing 2 tight ends, I've never been so tempted to pay up for defense, because the Titans have just been the gift that keeps on giving week after week after week. Last time the Colts played in this matchup, they had 15 points. I have them projected for 13 points, which is the highest I've had a defense projected all year long. Cam Ward is bad, really bad. Their defense is bad, so they get behind in games. Calvin Ridley is out. They have 2 really bad running backs, a terrible offensive line. It's just bad. Like, there was literally a play last week where they knocked the ball out of Cam Ward's hands, and he just kind of stared at it and was like, didn't even try. He's just like, go ahead and score. I don't care. Like, what are they going to do against me? So
I think Cam Ward has to look like the ass clown of the year. Like, who, as a quarterback, I've never seen a quarterback go to throw a pass and it slipped out of their hand 2 times. Yeah. I'm like, bro, not even my youth football second string quarterback does that. Like, you're an NFL professional quarterback. And the worst part is, he's like,
like, if you look at the props for Jonathan Taylor and Bijan Robinson to score a touchdown, or Cam Ward to have an interception, they're the same, right? It is so bad. So I like I said, my favorite build right now is paying up for the Colts defense. I know that's really hard this week. I also really like the Falcons. I love the Texans. Yeah, I love the Texans because they get Jeff's banged up, Mac Jones led team. And I think that's where I'm going to be living. If you have to pay all the way down, I think the last one I would do would be the Saints at 2,300. But I think if you can pay up this week, that's where I'm going.
I love it. Gerson, anybody you want to mention?
Yeah, Cincinnati Bengals, because the Jets. That's easy.
Yeah, it's the Jets. That's true. That's an easy one. Yeah.
Yeah, Jets with Tyrod Taylor, who's also not 100% healthy, and
their number 1 receiver is Josh Reynolds in 2025.
Yeah.
See, I agree. Bengals are a great defense option for sure.
The only one I had was the Falcons, so we can go ahead and get to our stacks.
Going4two.com's weekly stack report.
All right, G, we'll go to you first.
Yep.
No, go to me last. I don't want to embarrass myself.
All right, Tim, you go first.
Yeah. So Jeff, peek behind this curtain here. Jeff, when I went to get on the sheet, he had the stack I really wanted. So I took the stack. with his lock of the week in it. So I'm going with Jalen Hurts, Dallas Goedert, Devontae Smith, and I'm running it back with a guy I didn't talk about, but I think he's also a good option this week, Wan'Dale Robinson.
Yeah, I love it. I switched my stack a little bit. I'll go ahead and give both stacks because I think the other one's a pretty good stack as well. My original stack was Michael Penix, Drake London, Bijan Robinson, and the Falcons defense. I still like that stack, but the more and more that I looked at it, I liked this stack a little bit better with Bo Nix, Sutton, Mims, who Tim talked about, and bringing it back with Pickens, who we talked about CeeDee Lamb, but you got to try to save some money somewhere. And Pickens is a little bit cheaper.
Yeah, true.
I think he still has some, tremendous upside there. So I bring back on that one. All right, G, give us your puke stack here.
Hold on. All right. Now I can hide myself. Nobody would have evidence of this that it was me that said it. This was almost my sick call of the week, to be honest. I just didn't know. I was like, all right, I can't do 5 players or 4 players as sick call. All right, I got to figure this shit out. Anyways, so I said it from the beginning of the show, and I said it to Geoff and Tim. The way you're going to be able to fit those running backs, those sexy running backs, Jonathan Taylor, Bijan Robinson, or Derrick Henry, or just 2 of those, and then Chase or someone else, you're going to have to be different at quarterback. I can't believe I'm saying this. I might not come back next week. I'm sorry, Geoff. Geoff, you might have a one-man show. You better figure out to get 2 people on the show. Rattler, Spencer Rattler, Olave, Shaheed, and Emeka Bububu, like Rob Gronkowski would say. No, Emeka Ibuka. Yeah, Emeka. Why am I saying it like Rob doesn't know how to pronounce it? Emeka Ibuka. Yeah. So, yeah, that's my stack. This is how you fit all the running backs. And obviously, you're going to have to do a 2 tight end to make that work. I'll let you guys figure it out. I don't want DraftKings to cancel me or ban me. Yeah. But, all right, hold on. Let me turn the camera back on.
Yeah. All right, let's get to our sick call.
And now, the sick call of the week.
So I'm going to go first here because my streak continues of not hitting the sick call. We're about 7 weeks of not hitting, and it's not like I'm not even getting close to hitting. Right? I'm like totally not even like I think Luther Burden had 1 catch, and he was my sick call last week. Absolutely terrible. I will say though, at least one of my sick calls seems to be a stud, and that was Rondé Gatson, who just played last night. Balled out. I was 4 weeks too soon on him, but. My sick call this week, I'm going.
Yeah, 4 weeks too soon. I usually heard 1 week too soon, but 4 weeks, wow, yeah.
4 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm going with Isaiah Davis, running back for the Jets this week at 4.1. We kind of mentioned Breece Hall a little bit, but he hasn't been very good. And Isaiah Davis got a little bit more work last week, especially in the passing game. Actually had 4 catches last week. I think 4 catches or 4 targets, but he got a little bit more involved. He's been getting more and more involved each week. And at 4.1, I know it's ugly. It's going to be an ugly game. But Isaiah Davis, I think if Breece Hall continues to struggle, might get some work in this offense. Tim, what you got?
Yeah, I said in the pre-show, I think this is the hardest week, particularly for sit calls, because you got like Jaden Higgins and Noel and all these other cheap wide receivers that are values. So I went with the theme of National Tight Ends Day, the return of Isaiah Likely. He's not looked the same since he's come back, but obviously he hasn't had Lamar. 2,600. He's basically stone min. He gets you a touchdown. He pays off value. So I say this is the week Likely gets into the box and gets me another sick call win.
Yeah, you got 2 this year. I got none. Gerson also has 2 this year. Gerson, but what's your sick call this week?
So I think congratulations, Tim, on your kid coming up.
Thank you.
I'm gonna have a kid before Jack hits his sick call again. It's gonna be 9 months. It's gonna be next year. I promise you.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I'll be honest with you guys. I don't even know who the hell this guy is. until I had to go research him. I'm like, what the hell is Shamiri Dyke?
It's actually pronounced DK.
DK. Yeah. If that was my last name, I would pronounce it DK as well.
For sure.
DK?
Yeah, Shimare or DK. Shimare DK, I think is how you pronounce it.
What is he? Yeah. Native American?
I have no idea.
Yeah. Anyway, Shimare DK.
Not gonna guess.
Yeah. 3.4K. I think the biggest thing is, congratulations, Tyler Lockett. You got released to go find Super Bowl. Go find a team. I don't know if anybody can sign your ass, but okay. So he got released on because he wanted to. But the other thing is Calvin Ridley's out.
Yeah.
We've been playing this guy a lot. Alik Ayamaner, is that his name?
Yep.
Alik Ayamaner, sorry. But Shamiri DK saw an increase in target. He caught all 4 of his passes last week. His target, 70 yards and a touchdown, and 57% snap share. I don't see a way that the Titans are not going to trap. Basically, they're going to have to play from behind. That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
When you have a quarterback that throws the ball the other way around and it hits the floor and he fumbles, Tim, it's a lock of the week. You basically, I'll bet on an interception or a turnover. I wish you could bet on turnovers. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just a sick call. The Colts give up the 3rd most receiving yards per game at 173. It's not a lot. So you really have to basically, it's a sick call. I'm not saying that he's gonna hit because it's Cam Ward throwing them the football, dude.
Yeah,
right.
Sure. Actually, I've been playing DK in my fantasy league for the last 3 weeks because I play in a league that credits return yardage, and
there you go.
Injuries and some bye weeks, and I actually had him in my thing the last 2 weeks, and of course, he had return yardage plus that big week last week, so he actually smashed for me in my lineup.
We used to call those Cavante Turpin leagues.
Yeah, exactly.
Can I add to this?
Go ahead.
I know it's stupid to add to a sick call, but just think how stupid this sounds. He had 3.3K, right?
Yeah.
As a sick call. And then you have Dalton Schultz at 3.4K.
Dalton Schultz is 3.3K. Yes. How do you not play 2 tight ends this week, man?
So I'm thinking man, maybe we're not that dumb. Maybe I might have a kid before Geoff hits on a sick call.
Yeah, for sure.
I will tell you, when I build lineups, I usually set the optimizer to not put a certain percentage of tight ends in the flex. Mm-hmm. I'm just turning that off this week.
Yeah.
Just build. Because I think it's very, very likely.
Yep.
Hardest week of the year.
You say that and it's gonna be strap in. We're ready to go.
Let's do it. All right, that wraps up the show and quite possibly Tim's last show of here. So Tim, we'll let you go first. Any parting words, anything you wanted to give to the audience?
Yeah, so nobody asked me. I unretired my Aaron Rodgers jersey for the show tonight for 2 reasons. One, the Packers are playing the Steelers this week, and Aaron Rodgers said that when he's done, he wants to retire as a Packer. So we will welcome you back, Aaron, but I hope they win this week. I will probably not be doing my thread in the group for a while, obviously with new dad and all. But if you really need something, you can find me on Twitter at KetoDFS. I wish you guys all the best. I will see if I can steal away 5 minutes next week for the Halloween show.
Good stuff. G, what you got going on?
I'm just here every Friday at Fantasy GDFS. I can't believe that, dude. It's a Halloween show, man.
It's going to be the Halloween show on Halloween.
On Halloween, yeah.
That's crazy. I didn't even think about this, but I don't know if my costume's appropriate for this show because it's going to be where you can't see my face. I bought it on Temu. That's the crazy thing is. I didn't even know what Temu was until this girl that I'm hanging out with told me, oh, yeah, you can order it. I'm like, all right, cool. And then, yeah. But anyways, you can find me here. I'll do Tim a solid. I'll try to continue that thread. Probably not going to be his kind of thread. I think I'm going to go back to my way where I tell you my best plays, my value play, or as people like to call it, the answer to the test.
The answers to the test.
So
that's
hopefully
exactly
it helps
right.
out because Tim does a lot for the community, does a lot for this show. And man, salute to Tim for his kid, for the blessing that he brings to this world. Thank you, Tim, for everything you do. Even though all you had to do is pump, shump.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Tim. Love you, bud.
Thank you.
As always, guys, find me on Twitter at Geoff Lambert77. Also find me on Facebook in those two Facebook groups, DraftKings group and the DFS Roundtable. I put out my ownership every week. I will do it again this week, and I'm off Sunday, so I'll be able to update it on Sunday like I did last week. So be on the lookout for that. For Gerson, for Tim, I'm Geoff, and we will see. Well, me and Gerson will see you next week. Tim, we'll see you. We'll see you next year.
Go back.
Peace, Tim.